Well, hello and welcome to Travel Tech US and Canada 2022. Thanks everybody for joining us today and welcome. First, I would like to start by thanking all the sponsors for the support and of course, big thanks to all the speakers who are making this event such a great success. Thank you so much. To learn more about the event, please visit Travel Tech profile on LinkedIn. Follow them, please, and also visit Travel Tech website, traveltech.space and traveltechacademy.com. It's a pleasure to be here again as a moderator. So thank you so much, Travel Tech team. I'm honored. I'm Paula. For those who don't know me yet, I'm the content coordinator at Ask Suite. Ask Suite is an omnichannel communication platform and a 3-time award winner of Best Hotel Chatbot by Hotel Tech Awards. Just really briefly about myself so no one gets bored before we started. I'm a former hotelier with bachelor's in psychology, and I have 10 years experience in the hospitality industry. For over the last 3.5 years around, I've been with Ask Suite, and my main goal as a content coordinator is to create quality content to help hoteliers face challenges and educate the industry. And I do that together with a great marketing team in different ways: blog posts, ebooks. We have a webinar series, the Hotelcast TV, and we also have an award-winning podcast, Hotelcast, which was named the second best hospitality podcast by the International Hospitality Institute. Thank you so much. And I also do international hospitality events, such as this one, such as the Travel Tech. And throughout this, I've been humbled to receive 3 awards. I never say that, but you know what? It was Women's Day, and I was like, I should celebrate my victory, so I'm going to say it. So I received 3 awards. Top 50 influential leaders in hospitality in 2021. Global Top 25 Social Media Influencer 2021 too, and the Global Top 20 Hospitality Executive to Watch in 2022. I have no idea how I got this, but I'm very happy and very honored. So thanks, everybody. That's quite cool. Thanks again, Travel Tech, for having me. People are starting to join us. I can see already someone saying hello from sunny Florida. So hello back. The topic of the forum is how to improve a profit for luxury hotels through direct sales, revenue management, and marketing strategies. And as you can see in the screen, we have already our amazing speakers waiting. And you can ask your question and interact with us through the chat. So don't be shy. Write your question. Take this opportunity. Don't miss out on this opportunity. And by the way, tell us where in the world you are right now, because we love this international interaction. So this is how it goes. Each speaker will introduce themselves shortly, and then we start the first round of questions. So let me start by saying hello and welcome to Theodoros Katimpras, CEO at Book Online Now. So hello, Theodoros. Thank you so much for being here. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hello from Greece, from Athens, Greece. It's snowing, although they say it's always sunny in Greece. It's not. Today it's snowing somehow in Athens. So my name is Theodoros, as you'd already told us to everybody. I'm the CEO of Book Online Now. Book Online Now is a booking engine with more than 3,500 hotels around the globe. 52 countries, and I'm excited being part of this technological team. Personally, I don't remember having another job than the one in tourism. So I went from the kitchen of a hotel to waiter, and somehow I let's say stepped out to the technology section and e-commerce. So I feel that this sector is very interesting, and especially during the COVID season period, I see that there is a huge interaction in technology, and all the companies that we are all together here try to have integrations between us. So I feel that also the hoteliers need to have the same spirit as the technology companies do at this time.
Well, thank you so much, Theodoros. I love that you started by saying that Greece is it's not always summer. I love that. Thank you. I can see more and more people joining us. So let me say hello to India. Here have someone from Saravan. If I'm saying wrong, so sorry about that. Chennai as well. So let me say hello and welcome to Danielle Romero, Director of Communication at Paraty Tech. So hello, Danielle. Welcome to Travel Tech.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. First of all, I want to congratulate you for those awards. I'm pretty sure you deserve them. So, congratulations. And of course, I'm very pleased to be attending this Travel Tech edition for the first time. The same year, we're celebrating our 10th anniversary in Paraty Tech. So, really happy for those reasons. Paraty Tech, for those who don't know us, is similar to Book Online now. It's a booking engine. We work to increase direct sales, hotels direct sales, and hotel chains direct sales. And we do this through the booking engine, revenue management tools, online marketing services, all of them in-house technology. We develop our technology, which obviously is an advantage when it comes to making decisions and being agile, right? About me, just gonna say that I've spent here 8 years now. I feel this company as my own. It is not my own, unfortunately. I hope it was, but I do feel it as my own. And I think this is something that happens to almost any employee here. We feel this company as our own, and that's, I think, why we are so committed with our aims and pretty aligned in the objectives, right? So my background comes from advertising. I was a former graphic designer and advertiser. I had my own advertising company here in Malaga, where we're based. Um, I knew nothing about tourism 8 years ago, but I say that I have learned quite a lot in this last 8 years. And after 5 years designing websites for hotels, I actually turned into the communication director, and now I write in the blog, I develop our magazine, I attend events, well, anything that's related to communication, basically. I'll just end up saying that we work with around over 3,000 hotels around the world. We have three offices. Our headquarters are in Malaga, but we have one other office in Portugal, in Albufeira. And recently we opened another office in Cancun, where we hope to develop our business in the following years. So basically, that's all. I welcome you all and hope we have a great time.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Also, great introduction. And you mentioned Cancun. Someone, Dara, is saying greetings from Cancun. Hello, Dara. Peter from London, Old London, is saying hello. So, hello, also, Peter. Next, I want to say hello and welcome to Calvin Stovall, president at EV Hotel. Thank you so much, Calvin, for being here with us today. And welcome to Travel Tech.
Hey! How you doing, Paula? Thank you so much for having me today. It's great, always great to see you and be engaged in some kind of event with you all the time. Congratulations on all your awards. I think that's fantastic, and you do deserve every single one of them. I want to thank Travel Tech for allowing EV Hotel to be a sponsor. We're really honored to be a partner through all of the series of the events that they're hosting here. Just quickly on my background, I have about 25 years of experience in hospitality, been doing it for a very long time. And so pretty much, I guess I'll say my biggest cut my teeth on the hotel industry was with Hilton, was VP of marketing for Homewood Suites there, but worked in operations a lot. I've been an AGM at Embassy Suites. I've worked at the front desk at a Holiday Inn. I've done pretty much all of it. But I've also have some nonprofit experience as well. I've worked at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital in brand strategy. So I've done quite a few things, but I have to say my involvement right now with EV is probably one of the most exciting opportunities I've ever had. We're the first ever automation crypto brand out there. We have 9 locations so far. First one will be opening up in downtown Phoenix, first quarter 2023. So it's just been a great ride. It's just starting now. So I'm just excited to be a part of it and really excited to be a part of this event. So thank you. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you so much, Calvin. Always iconic.
Yes,
and always a pleasure to talk to you. Well, next I want to say hello and welcome to Craig Carbonniere, Senior Director of Sales at Milestone. So hello, Craig. Hello again.
Awesome. Hello again.
Welcome to Travel Tech.
Paula, it's an honor. Those who aren't familiar with Milestone, we are a hospitality digital marketing software and services agency based in Silicon Valley, California. Prior to my time here at Milestone, I managed hotels for Interstate Hotels, Grand Pacific Resorts, Disney. So love the conversation today. I was fortunate enough to earn top 25 minds in hospitality sales, marketing, and revenue management by Hospitality Sales and Marketing Association International. So I'm excited for today's discussion. There's a ton of value each one of us brings.
Thank you so much, Craig, and congratulations on your award too. Well, more people are joining us, and don't be shy. Tell us where you're watching the show and write your question, because it's not every day you have the chance to ask this group of people your questions. So don't miss out this opportunity. So next, I want to say hello and welcome to Cornelio Encarnacion, Senior Customer Success Manager at DUETTO. I'm not sure if I butcher your name or not. I hope I said it right. Hello, Cornelio, and welcome.
Hi, Paula. Congratulations, first of all, and thanks for having us right here in this forum. Like I said, you can call me Corn. It's perfectly fine. I have a very long last name, so I don't expect anybody, to remember. Just a little bit about me. I've been working in hotels for over 15 years now, and decided to take a little bit of shift in my career, joining DUETTO as a customer success manager. DUETTO is a revenue management software company dedicated obviously for hotels. So super excited. My main market is the Latin American and the Caribbean. So it's amazing to see the growth, the opportunities, and all the love and passion that is being put in that, in that region with those beautiful resorts. So yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, Cornelio. And I'm feeling better now that you didn't get any you didn't get offended at all. So thank you. Thank you for your support. Lonnie is saying hello from sunny Ocean Ridge, Florida. So hello, Lonnie, and he's congratulating Craig on the award. So here you go, Craig. Next, last but not least, Carrie. She is market director at the Hotels Network. So hello, Carrie, and welcome to Travel Tech.
Hi, Paula. Thank you so much, and congrats to you. I'm really excited to be here with Travel Tech for my second time, and I'm in rainy Vancouver, but Theodoros somehow sent his Greek sunshine here because we're having a fantastic day, which is unusual. Anyway, so I'm with clearly the Hotels Network. We help hotels improve direct bookings. I'm really pleased with the topic today. I have a lot of luxury clients, and my background is purely luxury. So I spent most of my career as SVP hotel programs for a company called Kiwi Collection, and also the Visa Luxury Hotel Collection, where I've spent my life being a luxury hotel reviewer. So I have a lot of passion on this topic. And, I think that the one conversation I've had more than any with hoteliers over the years is how important the direct channel is. So I know we'll be talking a lot about that today. That's certainly the focus of the Hotels Network. And can't wait to get started.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Okay, so let's get started. Like Carrie said, it's time. We're going to go for the first round of questions, and I'm going to start with Theodoros. Theodoros, your first question is, how can technology help luxury hotels achieve increase of direct sales?
Okay, very nice question. So actually, because I was talking about technology and technology companies, so I need to prove to hoteliers that they need to trust technology in the hotels, first of all. So there are a lot of systems, technology systems that somebody can use, not only the booking engine, but they need also to have a channel manager. They need to have a PMS. At the same time, they can cover those and enrich those technology tools with revenue tools. Paraty rate tools, review tools. So why should they trust all those technologies? They can get all the data, the big data that is needed in order to understand how they should structure their sales or marketing strategy. So in fact, when having a channel manager, when having a booking engine, when having a very nice website at the same time, because the booking engine is always linked to a very nice website, they gather the knowledge, which is actually the clients that are visiting their own website, which they get information from OTAs like Booking Expedia or other kind of OTAs globally, and they get statistics. So from those statistics they gather, they see the demand, they see the trends, they see the booking window. So actually, by gathering all those informations from the technology side, they can structure through their official website and the booking engine at the same time special offers, deals, any kind of packages that could attract direct sales. So we never say that, let's say an OTA as a booking engine provider, we never say to a hotelier that he shouldn't expand his sales through a channel manager and many OTAs. It's the advertising that they get, the brand awareness. So especially this period, you cannot trust the traditional statistics that you had. You may have a hotel, let's say, for 5 or 6 or 10 years, and you had, let's say, a specific market that you have targeted so far. But nowadays, you see that things are changing every day, every week. Let's say here in Europe, at this time, we have the war right now in Ukraine. Some hotels here in Greece were, let's say, with the Russian market or Ukraine market connected, they need to change their strategy and their sales and their marketing strategy. With technology, they can achieve opening these sales to other markets, to other segments, and actually understand which are the trends that they should follow in order to achieve direct sales.
Yeah, I think you touched on a very nice point, Theodoros, the saying that you need data to understand. I think that's the key that the hoteliers must understand. Without data, you're just guessing, and guessing is not really efficient, I guess. So
you had a very nice, let's say, PDF which I had downloaded from Asquith. You were talking about, let's say, the ideal client, the persona. So actually, knowing which is your client will help you also build a very nice product which will be attractive for the clients that are visiting the official website of the hotel and also the booking engine. Same will happen if you have attractive, let's say, pricing, and not only in OTAs like Booking Expedia, Hotel Beds, any other OTA that covers globally your hotel in sales.
Oh, first of all, thanks for mentioning the material. I appreciate that. Glad to hear that you like it. But don't you think, Theodoros, I think it is changing. It's a process. But I think still have many hotels that don't understand that if you can't measure, you can't improve. I mean, sometimes we talk to hoteliers, and again, it's a guess game. It feels like. Do you see that it's changing the data mindset? It is changing. What is your opinion on that?
Every day, so let's take it from the side of the booking engine. I see if they don't manage to enter the booking engine and see the statistics, they will not understand how actually online sales trends are working. So what I do usually with all our clients is that I call them and I see the stats within the booking engine and the combination with the official website. So especially for the booking engine, it can be individually, let's say you cannot track the performance individually of the booking engine. You need also to understand that it's a game with the official website of the hotel.
Thank you, Theodoros. Thanks for the explanation, for the insight. If anyone wants to add something, please feel free. Otherwise, we can go to the next question. And everybody that is watching us here, don't feel shy to ask your question. I see already one question here that will take in a minute. So please interact with us. We love that. We love chatting. We are hospitality people. We like to talk. So next question, and then I go to Danielle. Danielle, why must luxurious hotels pay special attention to personalization and direct sales?
Well, I think there's no other way. I mean, when we're talking about luxury hotels, we're talking about experience. That's the only point. It's all about the experience. We're probably facing the unique target or one of the unique targets that are willing to pay more for just a good experience, a unique, tailor-made, one-to-one experience. So there's no other way to do it. We have to know our target, and has a lot to do with what Theodore was saying. Technology, when it comes to luxury hotels, I think that basically will help us know our target, know when they book, from where they book, the different segments inside each target, because each market has different segments too. A millennial has nothing to do with getaway, romantic getaway, or a business woman who's traveling for her job, or a couple that is used to luxury hotels. So basically, it's all about the experience, and it's all about the expectations, satisfying expectations. When it comes to luxury hotels, everything has to be perfect. Your revenue management strategy has to be perfect. Your channels, your website, your voice channel has to be perfect. Your staff has to be perfect. Everything. You just can't fail. I think this should apply to every hotel, but when you're going to charge someone for this, it gets more and more important every time, right? So basically, you need to pay attention to the experience, to the expectations that you generate, and to be sure that you actually satisfy that expectation.
Yeah, that's a great point, Danielle. Expectation, it is a key word that we talk a lot, I think, in the industry. And one thing that I think everybody's saying, and I totally agree, is not only the expectation is higher, and I can guess the luxury hotel, it is even higher. It's like the top of the top. But what I think hotels must understand too, that when we talk experience, hotels are not comparing hotel to hotel. They are talking about experience in any industry with any industry. And that sets the bar even higher, don't you think? That I know hoteliers feel that it's a little bit unfair, but it's the reality. It is you have to do, like you say, it is harsh to say, like you're saying, you have to be perfect, but that's it. It is there's no space anymore for just all right or just good.
Yeah, and I think luxury is much more than 5 stars concept. For instance, this summer, I had I'm not a luxury common guest, I must admit. I'm not even a really hotel guest. I'm more like holiday rentals or other kind of holidays. But I had the chance to visit a luxury resort, a supposedly luxury resort, because it was a 5-star resort in Menorca this summer. And I had certain expectations, probably lower than a common guest from luxury resorts, and still I was totally let down with what I saw over there. It wasn't about the room, that wasn't bad. It could be better, but wasn't bad. But it was a little bit about the staff, a little bit about the queues when you wanted to go to eat. It was a little bit about the sound when you wanted to get some rest. It's everything, and you just can't afford a guest feeling this way when they're paying 600, 700, or 500 euros a night, right?
Yeah, totally agree. Lonnie here is saying spot on. We are creating moments and earning memories from our most important asset, the guest. In a highly competitive arena, there is no room for error. And I see Craig, I see that you are nodding a lot. So you are guessing you agree with Daniel. Anything that you could add here about the expectation?
I think everything that was said was spot on. I think one thing to highlight, though, as in your experience, Daniel, right? Some of our guests in the luxury segment are experiencing us for the very first time, right? They've saved up this budget over the span of the pandemic, and they have high expectations, right? In a lot of cases. So I think it's important to kind of revisit sort of your brand, your hotel, right? Are you in the best position to really, showcase your property and everything you have to offer? I think just going through that exercise, like with a fresh set of eyes, I think it's important for all of us.
Totally agree.
We have here, let me just say hello here because I ask people to say hello, so I have to say hello back. Otherwise, right, I'm asking them. So hello, Vinicius, actually from Travel Tech. Hi, Vinicius. Thank you for having all of us here today. And I have someone here making a question that is a little bit off topic, but I think it is an important question inside of marketing. Which social media platform is best for promoting hotels? I'm pretty sure all of us maybe have an answer. I'm going to say mine first. I'm going to be the first one here, and would be happy to hear what you guys think about it. I actually listened to yesterday's forum at Travel Tech. They were about social media, and someone was saying about TikTok, that it's so not it's underestimated still from hotelier perspective. And I personally think that one social media that works really well, at least with our clients, it's Instagram. And when you put, especially if you do a good campaign that it's aligned with what you guys saying, with the voice, with the brand and all that, it'll not only generate awareness, but also actually bookings, because you can put in your link tree or your bio there. You can do it. We have a lot of clients that do that, and people see the package or see the ads for any package, and then they just go directly to Instagram, go to the link tree or whatever it is that you use, and buy the package right there. So I have my opinion. I'm a big fan of social media in general, and I do like Instagram. Our clients actually use a lot of Instagram. Anyone has any other or agree with me or disagree with me, feel free to speak now. Don't be shy.
I agree, Paula, 100%. So with this segment, luxury specifically, Instagram's a great opportunity. Obviously, it's very visual, but I'd be remiss to say, Facebook is the largest player in social media. So obviously, you want to cover your bases there, but then look to supplement on other platforms. So that could, in fact, be TikTok, right? It could be Instagram. Could be Snapchat, right? So it's really a matter of what is your goal and what are you looking to accomplish, right? So some have talked about kind of the target audience that plays into that, but I think it's important to realize the scale of these platforms.
I also think that to your point about, having something perhaps promotional or, driving traffic to the hotel website, I think, and we do this often, and it's definitely backed by data, but rather than drop people on your homepage, you want to greet them with some kind of personalized messaging that recognizes where they've come from and uses consistent content to what brought them there in the first place.
That's a really good point, Carrie. I totally agree with you. And here I have another question. Now I think I'm going to direct to Theodoros, because you were the first one talking about booking engine. I know Daniel also can add something here. So how will be the best way to sell a room plus experience through a booking engine? What are your thoughts, Theodoros? And Daniel too, of course. And anyone who wants to add, of course.
So actually, what we do through the booking engine from Book Online now, we have something called package deals, in fact. So we allow hotels to create packages that not only include room accommodation, but also experiences at the same time, or add values that are facilities or amenities that they could, let's say, experience in the hotel. So actually, this is one way. This is an individual step of the booking engine. So what we try is not specifically have the client to book a room once with the rate plans that are sold also in Booking or Expedia, as I told, in OTAs, but they can create their own packages in order to create upsell for the hotel. I don't know, Daniel, do you have something similar, I think?
Yeah, there's a word that I knew that was come out sooner or later. It's upselling, upgrades, and cross-selling. That's the way we're going to be able to increase ADR, to increase the RevPAR. And the booking engine, first of all, has to be it has to be very well studied regarding user experience. Everything has to be fluent, it has to work fine, has to be easy. It's very useful to have a phone number, like a support phone number. Just the fact that you have a phone number increases the rate web conversion, even if they don't call. Of course, we do have our own call center, and we know for luxury hotels, it's a great support. But after that, as apart from being able to offer packages, which of course every booking engine should, um, the upselling and the upgrade strategies of the booking engine can be really, really important in this case. Once you've chosen your room, if you really know your target, again, we're going to technology that allows us to get to know our target, like CRM or even call centers that are a great source of big data too. If you really know your target, then you can offer a proper upgrade that will increase the ADR, or you can offer the proper upselling service to complete his experience. It's the best way is to know your client and then be able to apply all those commercial and revenue management strategies in the booking engine. The booking engine has to be flexible and has to be prepared to adapt to any kind of selling.
And personalization actually is also another keyword, because you don't see personalization only in tourism or hotel industry. You see it in all, let's say, in all kind of aspects in our life. Okay, so but also another thing is that the booking engine needs to adapt all the new trends and the new advertising tools that are offered free of charge, but also with third-party companies. Let's like meta advertising, for example, or even the meta searches that offer the possibility to the booking engine to sell the prices and compete the prices with the rest of the travel agency. So there are many unlimited things. And the one thing I learned 10 years right now that I'm working with the booking engine, the direct sales, is that every day you learn something new. Every week a new trend comes up. So my CTO hates us, my team and me, because we need to find out every time new things that we need to implement in the booking engine in order to be aligned with the new trends and the things that actually the clients wish to receive through the official website and the booking engine.
Yeah, that's key. I think none of us can say that we have a boring job. It is all the time changing,
Paula,
and we have to keep.
if I can add to that also, just like Daniel mentioned, the target is important, but it's just as important what you're also offering to that guest for that experience. Based on the region and all the things. Like, for example, here in New York City, you're not going to offer a customer, right, in your booking engine, a package to go to the beach, because New York City, it's not known, for that. Maybe something related with Times Square, as opposed to, we have amazing people here from Mexico, from the Cancun area. Maybe you also want to offer, a package that is also related, maybe, an excursion, doing, family activities and things like that to be out there, which is another thing that we have to take into account. People are not longer, and, those breakfast packages, parking packages, and things like that, they work. But people are also looking more for activities, outdoor activities with their family, how to spend more time outside and do, great things. So it's just as important. It's, your target. It's also what you offer will be for that target.
Totally agree. I think you need to know what you can offer that it's unique as well. So you can add value, and it's just not like a breakfast, like you're saying, that still works. No one's saying that shouldn't do it. But yeah, it makes much more sense. The right offer to the right people. Before we go to the next question, we're just starting here. If you're watching us, just to have time to ask your question, I'm gonna just read a comment here from Lonnie, and because we were talking about social media before, and I think he's spot on too. Videos on YouTube is an uncharted territory. Should a hotel to include live guest experiences? I think hotels are still missing YouTube big time. So thank you, Lonnie, for that. So next question, I'm gonna go to Calvin, actually. So Calvin, how will someone have mentioned before? So how will the metaverse change luxury travel? That could be interesting.
Yeah, thank you, Paula. One of the advantages of working with a brand like EV is that we're always looking at cutting edge technology. And a shameless plug here, we do have a Hospitality 360 show that we do pretty much every Thursday. And so we look at various articles around the world, what's going on in hospitality. And I just became super intrigued by this metaverse thing and how it's going to impact luxury travel. And I know there's probably a lot of definitions of what people might think metaverse is, and I'm not going to assume everybody knows what it is, so I'm going to say what it is. Because I know some people probably think it's a bunch of teenagers playing in some virtual world or video game or in 3D world or whatever. But
Please explain, Colby.
But it's actually, you know, and I'm going to read, it's really an umbrella term that describes an enduring virtual reality, basically. And of course, we know Facebook, they have their own definition. They changed their name to Meta for a reason, because they are going to do this platform. And they say it's a metaverse. It's an ecosystem made of the integration of different virtual environments, which can be accessed simultaneously by numerous users donning virtual reality headsets. So I have two boys. They're 12 and 14, and they play this game called Roblox. It's just like that. They live in this virtual world, and they interact with people everywhere, and they can buy stuff, buy these, currencies and so forth. And this is pretty much how I think we're going to start seeing this virtual reality experience in luxury travel. Some brands are already doing it. Louis Vuitton's own luxury travel retailer, DFS, last year they did a campaign launching this Lunar New Year campaign. We just saw it recently with Marriott Bonvoy. They did some NFTs. They showed them at the Art Basel Miami Beach show in 2021. So this virtual reality, what they're doing is creating these immersive environments for luxury travelers. You can go to particular places from the comforts of your own home. So you put these on and you can be there. And so it just creates a way to better connect with luxury travelers. There's the technology. It's just gonna continue to grow. And actually, one of our advisors on our advisory board, she actually received one of these virtual sets from a brand. She couldn't share which brand it was, but basically what it did is she was able to walk through the entire hotel wearing this. It felt real, it looked real, and then she said they had something with some fragrances. So when she walked out on the beach, you could smell the salt in the ocean. I mean, they're taking it to another level. Okay, so what I'm saying, I know it sounds far out right now, but trust me, as this technology becomes more and more commonplace, you're going to see more luxury brands take this approach. Because, I mean, imagine, right now we have concierges in hotels, right? Imagine a virtual concierge. You put this on and you interact with them. So it's just a different way that we're going to see these brands take that experience to another level. I loved what everybody said here. Daniel, Craig, Theodoros, all of you talked about experience, right? Being creative, taking things to the next level. I think this virtual reality thing is going to help brands do that and truly separate themselves from everybody else out there. That's my point.
No, it's pretty exciting for sure. I do have to admit that I feel a little bit old, with this kind of technology. But it's like you said, it's not that it is going that way. You can fight against it. You should embrace it and do it the best as you can. And I'm just trying to imagine, Calvin, as I haven't been in contact with this kind of technology. But in sales perspective, marketing, or whatever, in any way that you can use it, it is something that it will push. I don't know. I'm a bit scared. Like it will push like the sense of the expectations that were already high.
Yes, yes, it is. It's going to push because the brand truly has to. If they go in this direction, you truly have to reflect what you're truly going to have to what you're offering. Because if I put on this thing and I'm able to walk into one of your suites and be able to look out of a window and the view, if this is what I'm going to purchase, when I get there for real, I should have exactly that.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
It is not, it's not the same as if you show a picture on your website and you get there and it doesn't look the same. This is very different. It's almost the same, but what you do is create another higher level expectation. I love what you said earlier today about customers, is that, you know, we can't just look at our competitors. You got to look what other industries are doing that's taking the experiences to another level. This is one of those things where you can really differentiate yourself by using technology that might have been used in video games, and you're putting it in hospitality. And what you're doing is creating something that can truly connect. I mean, you could put in there, there's brands that are probably going to be able to show you what an excursion in their area might look like. You can order tickets there. You can probably you could be able to, you know, see reviews. I mean, it can go a lot of places, even buying, you know, your hotel rooms using crypto virtual. I mean, it is just so many things that I think this thing is gonna take off. It's gonna take off.
Yeah. And the bad reviews in Booking saying that the picture doesn't match the reality, they will disappear in a few years, because, you know, you can't take it anymore.
That's right. I just love it. I just think it's great. And I think it's a way for, you know, we all want immersive experiences, but I think the luxury traveler is going to want it even more, because they're spending a lot of money, and anything that you can create that'll help them see and understand what they're getting ready to purchase is just going to help. It's going to help you be that much more successful as a brand.
Yeah, and just a final comment, and you can talk to Calvin, and then go to the next question. But luxury, from my understanding, I'm not expert as you guys, so please correct me, Calvin, or anyone. But luxury is so much more related to exclusive experience or exceptional experience than to have a very expensive painting inside of the room. You know, it's not just luxury. It's not only material, you know, oh my god, this is so expensive, but it's the kind of experience. I think it's the luxury today. To be luxury, I think it's to have this kind of out of this world almost.
The way that I call it, it's flavorful, because a lot of people, you know, focus on the word luxurious and think about, oh, a lot of money, it's expensive. No, it's rich, it's high in flavor. You can almost taste the experience, if that makes sense. It's like I'm there, you know. It's amazing. It's great.
Yeah.
Love that explanation, Cornelio. Thank you. Yeah, that was trying to say exactly. Well, we go to the next question then, and then it goes to Craig. So Craig, we are already talking about some trends, but let's be more specific. What is the top digital marketing trend for luxury hotels in 2022?
You know, it's so funny because I wrote this down, just some thoughts around the topic. The first word I wrote down was experiences, and I think we've talked a lot about that. I think, but I want to cover 3 specific trends as it relates to experiences for luxury hotels. So I kind of alluded to it in one of my comments, but it's so important that we revisit our marketing, we revisit our revenue management strategies, we revisit our sales techniques. Today's traveler is not the same as yesterday's, and quite frankly, it won't be the same as tomorrow's, right? So I think it's important to go through that exercise. Make sure all of your information is up to date. Make sure that all of your amenities are highlighted, right? Make sure, is it easy, in fact, easy to book a room? I know the topic today is about luxury hotels, but specifically profit in luxury hotels, right? So very simple, right? When I visit your website, can I book a room easily, right? It seems like a silly question, but you'd be surprised how many times I'm consulting for clients, and that's in fact a challenge, right? The second thing is, and we touched on it here, but be mindful, there are experiences at your property and there are experiences off your property, right? The number one factor why guests select a hotel, of course, they need the property to resonate with them, but it's the location, right? What is the experience they're going to get on property and within the neighborhood, right? Points of interest, museums, attractions, restaurants even, right? There's a three-star Michelin restaurant next door. We want to make sure that obviously we we call that out. The last thing is, and this is kind of a little bit in the weeds, but as I mentioned, 3 specific, right? There's something called page experience, right? Where Google's now looking at what is the experience that users are having on websites, right? So we cover this in depth on our blog at milestoneinternet.com, but we talk about core web vitals, right? And so that's looking at, is the information available? Is it a good experience on your websites? Is it fast, right? And so the whole idea of experience is the goal of that exercise for a luxury hotel should be, how do we kind of match the same experience we have on our properties online, right? I think ultimately that's going to be your best use of time and deliver the best return on your investments.
I love that point, Greg, and I think a lot of people miss it. It is like exactly what you said, matching the online with the actual experience at the hotel. I think sometimes it's such a big disconnection, and again, a basic mistake that hotels websites do, and you mentioned, is making it easy to book. Should be, I think hotels are too, sometimes they are too focused, and they should focus on design, because okay, the hotel experience, it's all connected with nice pictures and videos. You have to pay attention to that, the statics of it, but functionality, it is as important as it looks good, right? I think that's what you're trying to say here.
We went through the same exercise. Specifically, if anyone wants to check it, we worked with a resort in Northern California, beautiful 5-star resort named Cordoval. They've got a beautiful golf course. They've got a lot of restaurant outlets, a huge demand for weddings there. Sat down with their team and just kind of really, strategized, right? We're looking at their digital marketing through the lens of their current guest. How do we want to be portrayed? But then more tangibly, how do we want guests to interact with us, right? Do we want to lead them to complete an RFP form for a wedding? Do we want them to book a reservation at our spa? Do we want them to book a room at our hotel, and specifically maybe the 2-bedroom suite, right? Going through that exercise with your partners, so important. Obviously, if I personally can help with that, you're welcome to reach out to me. But it's an exercise I think we should all go through.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, Paula, regarding what you said about looking good is at least as important as functionality. I remember when I started working in this company 8 years ago, I came in to change the aesthetics of the websites that we used to design. The mentality of hoteliers has changed a lot in the last 10 years. 10 years ago, they would eat any website. It didn't matter. As long as it worked and it was there, you were on Google and that was enough. There wasn't that consciousness with direct sales, and it was kind of starting, right? But then they've become much more demanding. Aesthetics are much more important. Contents are much more important. But I remember that the first websites that I designed obviously looked much better. But we still had some hotels that were using the older websites and were selling crazy, right? And I was like, but they have shitty website. How can this be selling so much, and the new ones, they're still selling, but not that much? And it was all about functionality. I mean, and of course price, right? But functionality, if it works, if it's easy, it's gonna do what it needs to do. So keep it simple. We can use keep it simple almost for any topic. At least that's the way I think. And yeah, functionality is not only as important, but much more important than aesthetics.
I think,
Yeah, let's go.
Sorry, Paula. I just wanted to add that I work with one of the top 5-star brands in the world, and this clearly they had this debate internally, and the person I was working with had the vision and understood that, you know, we can't just look like a beautiful brochure with supermodels on it any longer. I mean, they were paying huge commissions to OTAs. We all know that OTAs have the technology and the budget to test all day long, right? So none of us like the way their messaging looks, perhaps, you know, they're popping up stuff all over the place, but they wouldn't do it if it didn't work. So you're a luxury brand, you've got a static experience. Yeah, it looks great, but it's not converting. So to your point, it's all in the numbers. We've been able to prove that, again, through, you know, making sure that you are engaging with your visitors in a tasteful, tactful, and on-brand way, because that is very possible, you will increase the numbers.
Yeah, I love that point, Carrie, and what you all think, talking, saying, and I'm understanding. Online behavior, I think it's also underestimated subject for most hoteliers. I think we here and people that work with marketing understand, you know, of course, more, but, you know, in general, they just miss the point there when it's about online behavior. And Craig, just one thing that you mentioned that I think it's so important. I'm going to go back to you, a follow-up question, and anyone that can also add, please feel free to do it. You mentioned about and I think it's important, not only selling the hotel, the property, but the experience and the surroundings and all that. And I think it was also in Travel Tech's fault, and I'm not sure if it was yesterday or the day before, but someone mentioned an example, and I think that's really frustrating, and I want to know if you agree with me. It's not only that you have to show that information online, to show what you can offer, but it is so important that the team knows also what they have to offer. And when I say team, it's not only the front desk agent, because people, you know, if they ask someone at the lobby or whatever, it is a hotel member, they ask how can I do a tour or whatever, they usually want that person to answer. And I think sometimes some hotels, they just have like one person or two that actually knows everything, and then all the others don't. So I don't know if it happens in luxury hotels, to be quite honest. I know in like the majority of hotels, the other types, yeah, we see this lack of training. I consider it's a lack of training. What is your opinion?
Yeah, I think, you know, Paula, and I do think that's an opportunity in general. Obviously, you know, with new team members, you know, the process of onboarding team members and making sure that they have the tools needed to succeed, that's a critical step. But I think I want to dive into a comment that you made, right? So your frontline team are getting hundreds of questions every single day, right? Anyone who answers a phone, a concierge, a PBX operator, a front desk agent, they're getting questions all day long, especially if your property has a lot to offer. If you think about that experience, right, what does the guest have to do? They've likely, you know, kind of have been researching your property, and maybe they couldn't find the right answer. So they have to pick up the phone, they have to find the number to call, they have to, you know, navigate your reservations line to get to an operator. Why couldn't we make it where we're answering all of those frequently asked questions on our websites or in our digital marketing, right? So we've been spending a ton of time with our clients researching what questions are they getting, either on their at their properties or online. And then we're using that as a marketing strategy. I'll give everyone a tip here. Your guests are asking if you allow pets, many of them. Do you answer that question on your website, or does someone else answer that question? Google it, see what pops up, right? You've earned that, right? There's some recognition. They know your property. They've decided they want to stay there, right? Make sure that you're the authority. Take control over your property and frequently ask questions. It's a strategy we've implemented for our clients, and I think it's something to look at your hotels.
Craig, can I ask you something? Don't you think that the teams of a luxury hotel should, let's say, brainstorm and not only think why clients book direct at the hotel, but why clients do not book? So
Yeah.
the actual question here is that the teams should think why somebody doesn't book directly at the hotel. So if they find out the answers on the second question, why they don't book, actually they will understand which are the mistakes they do in the official website, which is the mistake they do in the pricing structure and also in the packages and the whole experience of the client.
I agree completely. It's kind of a fun fact. So Milestone, our founder, had selected the name because she felt as if it was descriptive of a strong foundation, right? That's, hotel strategy 101, right? Let's make sure that we make it easy for our guests to actually to book with us. Right. So anyways, I love that. And I think it's important, when setting strategies.
And if I can add to that, like super quick, sorry, Paula, just want to add the sentences. We focus a lot on the technology, but we also, like you guys mentioned, there's a lot of opportunities for better training. I think there's not such a better thing that creating that revenue and marketing culture throughout the entire hotel, because people still want to talk to us. People still want to hear directly from us what we offer, how to get there, and also in overall information, right? So I think there's a lot of opportunities, to create that revenue marketing culture, in departments like the front office, even the bell staff. I mean, this is the first person that your customer will talk to, before even they get, to the front office. So right in there, you're already, getting information and tips, from somebody. Let's be honest, these people have the greatest and best information, available. So I think there's a lot of opportunities for the message, not only again to be, correctly displayed, and promoted out there via the website or the platforms, but also to create internally that revenue marketing culture.
I love that, Cornelio, the way what you're saying, because at the end of the day, we're in the people business, right? We can have all the best technology in the world, but if the people and the culture that you have does not support that, it's just not going to work. I love Theodoros is about when he was saying about automation and using technology to enhance the customer experience. If you can find any way, and Craig, your list was great. And I love it. And if you can find another checklist is what can you take away from your employees that's a checklist thing or something that you can automate so they can have more time to engage with the guests. What things can you take away from that? Because we're a very heavy checklist industry, okay? And if we can remove some of those checklists, trust me, your employees are going to be more excited. Please take that away from me. But what it does is it creates a more delighted employee, which is going to create a more delighted guest experience. So, I think everybody here has some great points here. And I know a lot has been shared, but don't forget, we're in the people business.
Yeah, well, I'm very biased to say anything, so I feel shy since we have a chatbot technology for all this kind of stuff, the frequent asked questions. So, but I do. I say we as Suites now. We do believe in the combination, like you both are saying. And Cornelius, I think you're right when you say that people still. And Calvin too. People still want the contact with the human, and especially now because things are so unsure. No one knows nothing, and so they want to be reassured, even if it has in the website information. They want to double check it. So it is an opportunity for customer service to become a sales, and I think that it's something that an opportunity of revenue actually. That it's being missing as well. Messias is saying hello. So hello, Messias. If you're watching us, please let us know your question and where you're watching this show too. It's always fun. We have a question here from Lonnie, and I think you're going to go to Carrie, actually, to see about reviews. It is about reviews. I think it's an important topic, Carrie. And he's saying that reviews are the excellent guest satisfaction reviews over 80%. Many luxury properties, I don't know. The excellent guest satisfaction reviews are well under not enough. 76% will pay more. Okay, I think he's what trying to say here is that people will pay more when they have more higher satisfaction. If you see the hotel is providing an excellent guest experience, right? And reviews, again, we do rely a lot on a lot of them. We rely more on the reviews from strangers than sometimes from our, I don't know, advice from our people. So what do you have to say about reviews and hotels?
I think it goes back to what we were just talking about. What was just said is that you have to look at reasons people don't book, right? And so that's a huge one right there. And we've also talked today about how expectations have gone through the roof. Pricing is increasing, demand is up. Every hotel is looking to recoup the revenue they've lost over the past 2 years. So expectations, if you're paying more, your expectations are even higher than they've ever been, even for the luxury brands that are so used to delivering these experiences. Well, they've kind of got a target on them more than ever now, because now it needs to be very over the top. And we all know that there's, struggles with staff as well. So being able to showcase a curated collection of reviews from known and trusted sources in a very tasteful and tactful way on your website is going to help improve conversion. You want to take away the need for your website visitors to leave your website in search of that information on their own. So you want to be able to provide that, quickly and easily. It's about thinking ahead to what people need, right? We're so used to personalization. We're used to brands and retail catering to us. Netflix is recommending everything we watch. Amazon's recommending what we should buy. We should also be, again, hand-holding the guests as they land on our website and thinking ahead to every piece of information that researcher or that undecided traveler might require in order to feel comfortable that this is the hotel to book and I should book this hotel right here, right now.
Carrie, if I can add quickly to that, reviews are extremely important, but also I would say it's even more important to ensure that that guest is taken care of from start to finish. We are in the hospitality industry. We understand things sometimes don't go 100% okay. I guess my walking into a room that has not been cleaned and things like that. It's not only the mistakes that are made during a guest stay, but also how you react to them. I've seen reviews where guests they give a 5-star. And within that review, they're talking about maybe about experience, but they still offer, gave like a 5-star review just simply because the issue was taken care of right in there. So again, it's just cultivating, that culture, within the property that if there is even, a guest issue, which can happen, we have to own that guest and take care of, before they walk out of the door. So it's just as important.
I think it's like any relationship with, even us with our clients, regardless of industry, if something goes off the rails, sometimes you can actually net out better than when you started, because it's all about how you handle it, right? So you have the opportunity to build a stronger relationship when you go through something together.
Especially people nowadays are reporting during their stay. In the past, they used to get a survey and people were used to complete that. How was your stay? And that was it. But people are now, this is what people are doing nowadays, doing videos and things like that. So that really excites others to, even drive conversion, because they're, looking at your property live, and the people are going to book. They're going to be, happy about it. They're going to be excited about it. So in a technology world where we are, nowadays, I think that's way even more important than the final, review.
Yeah, spot on, Cornelio. And I think you're right too when you say like people do reviews like real time now, and sometimes, many times, the hotel or the staff doesn't know about the problem, and it's easier and it's more comfortable for the guests to actually post about it than to go to the front desk and complain. So you do have to have someone in your hotel that keep an eye on what is going on social media, I think, all the time, so you can spot this and go talk to the guests, right? Let's go to the next question then, that it's to Cornelio, by the way. So Cornelio, why does a simple yet powerful distribution landscape strategy is so important, and why does it matter for luxury hotels? Let's go to distribution now.
Sure. So that's a great question, Paula. And this is a little bit more on the, I will say, on the tech side, but it's just as important because you might have, the greatest strategy, a beautiful message to go ahead, and send out to the world. But oftentimes we do not pay attention, regarding how we're going to distribute that message out there, to the consumer. I always think about distribution and the message being, sent out with the 3 C's: clean, concise, and consistent. You want to ensure that whatever message you're delivering out there, to the consumer, whether you have a promotion or something like that, you are being brief about it, you are being concise, and the message is clean. You're with a very few words, you have to tell the guests, this is what we are offering, this is what you're looking, why you should book with us at the end, how much this experience is going to be. So I think that distribution oftentimes it's in gray area where a lot of people do not manage or do not understand. Just last week, I was on the phone with a customer with a big resort from Latin America, and he had this amazing strategy that he wanted to implement, and he's like, Corn, but this is not working. What's going on? I cannot see it. And long story short, just because he didn't have the appropriate channels to let them within their central reservation system or something like that. So I just think that it's extremely important that we not only focus on the target, the audience and the package of the promotion, what we're going to offer, but ensure that experience from a booking standpoint, from a connectivity standpoint, it's there. We do also a survey 2 weeks ago, more or less, and it's interesting to me, but not surprising, that over 60% of the people that we ask, it's so important automation, but also integration, because we have to ensure, that integration, seamless and easy, still not that easy, but sort of easy, process, it's there. That's what's going to drive, more conversion. People also don't want to be reading paragraphs in your website, about a promotion or something like that. People want to be told exactly, what they're being offered and what they should book with your hotel.
Yeah, and again, I think, sorry, someone was going to say something. I interrupt someone? No. Yeah, I think what you were saying and everybody was saying here is the have to be easy, have to be convenient for the guests and for the hotel itself. Like I was saying, integration. We were talking to the photo one of the first day here at Travel Tech. If you're watching this and miss it, please go. After we finish this one, go and watch the replay. And we were talking exactly about this, the importance of integration. I think that's something that the pandemic kind of brought the companies together. I think integrations now are more easier than it was a few years ago. I think all hotel tech companies are aware of how important it is an integration to actually, the solution to actually work. Otherwise, sometimes it's even more, it's double the work for the hotelier, because if they don't talk to each other, then you don't get a full picture, or you just have to manually try to connect them. And I think integration, it's a key factor. I think you're right. Okay, we have here more people saying some comments. So yeah, please feel free to ask your questions. Someone is asking how Google My Business. We haven't talked about it yet, about Google My Business, but I would like to hear our expert. If anyone would like to take that question, would be great. So how Google My Business build trust for hotels? Yes, we all want to be good in Google.
So let me take a stab at it. The reality is Google My Business. So if you're not familiar, if you search your hotel's name on Google, on the right-hand side, that's referred to as Google's knowledge graph. It has pictures of your property. It has your phone number. It has your website address. It has your meta search advertising. That's all being pulled from Google My Business. So as hoteliers, and specifically marketers, right, we should be managing that. You have the opportunity to influence Google search results directly, right? So make sure the images are up to date and providing, they're current, right? Great chance for you to build that trust. But taking a step further, I touched on it a little bit, right? What's available today at your property? Likely for most of you, your spa's now open, your restaurants are now open, your pool is now open, right? Google allows for you, those are all individual attributes. You need to check those boxes to make sure they're activated, right? So going through that list, I just did a webinar the other day. There are hundreds of different attributes available to hotels. The second thing is the virus is still very real, right? And there are still many guests who are considering that when booking their vacation. So what is your property doing to keep them safe, right? Google has specific COVID attributes that hotels should be taking advantage of and should continue to update for any standards they're following at the property. Those are great examples for you to build trust. We spent a lot of time on that maybe 6 months ago here in the US, a year ago. It's still very important and certainly an opportunity. By the way, all of this is free, so great opportunity for all of us.
Yeah, I would like to ask actually the Theodoros and Daniel, everybody that works more in a Carrie too, which you mentioned about the direct bookings. From your experience, is it still coming a lot direct bookings that start from Google search? It is a key channel, I'm guessing, from direct bookings still, right?
I don't think the word is still. I think the word is more than ever. I mean, Google has been growing in the last 2-3 years in a massive way. It's clear that they know a lot about hotels, but they want to know much more. That's why they did things like the free booking links through their integration partners. Anyone could start appearing in the results of free booking links, and then the conflict came for those who were already investing in the Google Hotel Ads meta search engine, right? So, but it's obvious that they've seen there's a great business in hotels, and they want more and more. And the growth of Google in the past 2-3 years, it's just amazing. It's probably one of the most important channels in distribution now for direct sales. So yeah, not still, it's more than ever for sure.
If I could just add, and while Google wants to promote the best result, let's be real, Google wants to keep that user on their platform. So Google My Business is their way to do that. We kind of kindly refer to it as your new website homepage, because if you think about it, all of your reviews, all of your questions, all of your hotel's information is there, right? Some of the other things are now creeping over to the search results, right? So some of those questions are now heading that way. We did research for our clients and found that hotels, all the specific opportunities to embed your hotel, whether that be answers to those questions, right? It's more than 50% of all searches are relevant to questions that are being answered by different websites. So it's a great opportunity, I think. And quite frankly, it's probably an area that most hotels have opportunity in.
And it's also the easiness of checking the prices, Greg.
Yeah.
With Google Hotel Ads, they don't need to enter, let's say, 5 travel agents or the booking engine. They can see the prices directly on the business listing. So it's another way of, let's say, that's why we are saying that the booking engines should be connected with free booking links and also Google Hotel Ads, because you have the opportunity to display a better price. Even have, let's say, messages beneath with extra amenities, facilities you might want to give in the booking for the clients that are booking direct. So there are many ways of getting the trust through the business listing for the brand.com website.
And I think also, I'm sorry.
You go, Cornelio.
Oh, thank you, Daniel. So, and I also think that it also creates another layer of complexities. Like, rate parity, as we know, especially in a luxury brand, there's no such a worse feeling, having a much lower rate than you're having in your property website. And what sometimes even upsets me is that when you click on that on that link right on Google, it takes you to a web page that rate's not even longer visible to what it was showing you before. So I think that's, there's a lot of benefits to it, but also we have to understand and try to work as much as possible on ensuring that rate parity, it's there, to drive more conversion, to your direct, booking website.
Well, thank you. Google, it's an extensive topic. I think we could go on and on. I really like, Daniel, that you said that it's more than ever. Yeah, that you correct me, and I think you're spot on. And another thing, they are investing like hugely in the travel industry. And most hotels don't know that if you are in the Google My Business and all that, you even have the chat option now that you can also put it and talk directly. So you can talk to someone that is clearly interested in your property because they're there in Google searching for it. So many hotels still don't know they have this functionality. So you have to keep updated all the time what Google is doing so you don't miss a good opportunity to increase your revenue. And in this case, direct bookings. We go to the next question then. We go to Carrie. How can luxury hotels increase website conversion? We're talking about exactly this, getting them on Google. So how can, they are there. How then they can convert into booking? So how can luxury hotels increase website conversion without overloading the user experience?
Very important, especially in luxury. I mean, nobody wants to overload the user experience, but luxury, as we talked about earlier, just have this great fear of really putting anything on the website other than, as I said, beautiful imagery and dream text, it seems. So we've had great success in shifting thinking to the point where we can, try and test all kinds of things. Everything that we do is supported by data, of course. But ultimately, what I end up, in order to influence this shift in thinking, is I talk with luxury hotels about going back to the guest experience. So again, I'm a luxury hotel reviewer from past. I know if I walk into the lobby of a hotel and I've got my children with me, the Four Seasons of the world are going to be all over my family, making sure that we know all the fun things to do on property, around the property. They do such a great job of that. Why is that experience not extended to the website more often? So if I've got a child in my search on the website, that's an opportunity to push me some kind of messaging that makes me feel like I'm at the right hotel. I shouldn't have to go searching for it. Again, I don't even have to search for which show I want to watch on Netflix. Netflix tells me what I should watch. So this is an expectation that consumers have. And I think a lot of luxury hotel brands are still sort of hearing personalization online as a sort of a buzzword, but they haven't really figured out how to deploy the experiential sales experience, right? So so that's, again, our job and what we do. So part of it is one, segmenting your audience so that you can deliver only relevant content to the right guests at the right time. That's number one. So this way you are not inundating people with messaging, certainly not irrelevant content. And the second piece of that is making sure that the messaging platform you're using allows you to deploy very customized, on-brand messaging that provides a native experience to your website. So nothing cookie cutter, very subtle messaging options. And not only that, but multiple message formats. So for example, our luxury clients can use our inline format. So it doesn't even pop up. There's no interference with the UX. A lot of hotels already have the pop-up for cookies, right? So we've already got one on the site without even saying anything meaningful, really, certainly not engaging. And so now we want to, perhaps talk about our flexible cancellation policy. And we also want to show our personalized offer for locals. How do you do all of that without overwhelming people? And again, that's about looking at subtle formats that are not all the same. So you can have a little clickable icon that expands. You can have inline formats. There are different things that you can do as a luxury brand. So again, as you said, Paula, you're not overloading the experience. And then the second piece I just wanted to add, we're talking about really cool futuristic things that are actually here now, such as virtual reality, which is super exciting. We don't do it, but super excited to learn more about that and to see more of it in our industry. But one thing we are doing is machine learning. So there is a lot we can learn about a visitor before they land on the website, while they're on the website, from their IP, through their level of engagement. We know if the OTAs are out of parity. We know all kinds of things related to what this guest has seen in their journey. So with that, we can use information to perhaps put some kind of an offer in front of a segment of guests or visitors to the website who have a low intention of booking. So do something to move the needle with the people that need it, which means we don't cannibalize bookings in the high intent segment. Okay, so having great success with that. Or we can look at the high intent segment and upsell them into a higher room category, a longer length of stay. There are all kinds of exciting things we can do to move into a better overall luxurious experience in this case.
And many great things to talk about, Carrie, from your answer. And one of them, you were talking about this not being aggressive, too much aggressive in your approach. I personally hate the pop-ups, too many pop-ups, especially because now we do it on mobile. You know, it's horrible. Please stop.
Yes.
I don't think hotels realize. I want to know your opinion, Carrie. Are hotels now finally getting the experience in the mobile is as important as a desktop? Because we do everything from mobile right now.
I'm glad you brought that up. It's a huge focus for us. So when we talked about pop-ups on mobile, and anyone who knows my company knows that we have other tools like price comparison. We do have a reviews summary, all kinds of messaging that, you know, we're always encouraging hotels to personalize. All of those can take place in an inline format, which means no pop-up whatsoever. So all of that can very carefully be placed also on the mobile environment. And we can have two different experiences, which again, we highly recommend. The mobile experience shouldn't necessarily, and in fact, most cases shouldn't at all match the desktop experience. You can have a little smart note pop into a desktop experience that maybe you shouldn't have on the mobile. So you're absolutely right. We need to look at that platform, and we need to make sure that we're treating that real estate in a way that's going to keep people with us and not irritate them to the point where they actually abandon altogether.
Yeah, exactly. We want to convert, not to abandon. Calvin, I know you said in the beginning you were reacted like, yeah. So I guess you also agree with us here that the mobile experience and pop-ups and whatever it is,
absolutely
should be crucial.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%, Paula. Sometimes it becomes a nuisance when, and it's all about balance, right? I just believe it's about balance. It depends on the situation and the vehicle you're using, but you can overextend that if you're not careful.
Well,
go ahead.
Sorry, Carrie, I don't want to.
No, you go for it.
I was just going to add, so just to give some context to the topic of mobile, right? And as a benchmark, 60 to 70% of all of your website traffic is on a mobile device. So Carrie, you're spot on, right? That experience should be prioritized. You should be delivering a unique experience on those devices, right? I shouldn't have to be scrolling forever to find the right information. But then you touched on something that was kind of interesting, right? So we've only talked about it a couple times today, but the whole idea of shifting share away from more costly channels, right? OTAs being the elephant in the room. They're taking advantage of some technology that realistically an individual property can as well, right? We're not talking about advertising spend. I'm talking about just website technology, things like accelerated mobile pages, which, by the way, it's been around for 6, maybe 7 years. Booking.com has an accelerated mobile page for all of their hotels, right? We've been fortunate with our company to develop similar pages for our clients so that they can benefit from that directly, because it's really, it's trying to elevate the experience and specifically looking at speed. The second thing is, and I know this is specific to luxury resorts, is, okay, how do I get the right offer to someone who I think needs it, right? So things like progressive web app, PWA, allows for you to push notifications. And so not intrusive, but if you want to get something in front of a specific guest, let's give it to them, right? Black Friday offers, or, Cyber Monday, any holiday specials, right? Those type of things, that's important. So I guess, it's important that we, as an industry and as a segment, start elevating mobile much higher than we have in the past.
Yeah, I would say a bit more. Even you were talking about 60% of traffic. I would say 60% of the bookings. In fact, the ways of reservations have totally been inverted in the last years. If 2 years ago might have been 70% desktop, 30% mobile. Now we are in a 40 desktop, 60% mobile. That's why, for example, we decided from the first beginning to work with two different versions for mobile and for desktop. We don't work with responsive websites and we don't work with responsive booking engines, but we develop specific booking engine for the mobile devices and specific mobile engine for the desktop device. Because the way they book, the way they move through the website, the way they find the information, even the information they want to find has nothing to do in one device and another. This way you can actually discriminate in a very accurate way what you want to show in the mobile device and what you want to show in the desktop device. So definitely we should pay attention to mobile devices. And regarding pop-ups, I don't know what other deals have with pop-ups. They want to pop up for everything. I'm not really against pop-ups, but I do think that a pop-up just has to be relevant. If not,
Yes.
it's nonsense.
It's noise if
basically.
it's not relevant.
Yeah.
Right. Yep.
Exactly. We do have some time we have around 30 minutes, 40 minutes to still on this forum. So if you have a question and watching us, first of all, thanks for watching us. And then please feel free to ask your question. Someone is saying here, Marcelo is saying, whoa, this is the best session so far. Kudos. So I'm going to say thank you on behalf of all of us. Okay, we go to the next question. It's a topic that we haven't specifically discussed yet, which loyalty programs. So I go to Theodoros now. So why do loyalty programs play a great role for luxury hotel brands, Theodoros?
Okay, so first of all, luxury brands must have or have already a loyalty scheme implemented in their sales strategy. The thing that actually needs to be changed is that it's not only about discounts, as we talked about, it's all about experience. So experience is the key word today. So actually, they need to understand that of course they need to offer special packages, different experiences, add values into the stay of a repeated client. And what a good booking engine does is, and what I say also, Daniel will also agree with me, is that a good booking engine is not the one that brings once a client, but is the booking engine that can bring back a client to book again. So, of course, a booking engine needs to have an implementation of a loyalty scheme with leveling, with point system, or with amount of money or stays. So it needs to have a feature of loyalty inside. But more or less, the booking engine needs to be connected with the PMS. The PMS is the system that gathers all the information, and then we can have the personalization. If somebody is allergic to something, if his preferred wine is red or white. So imagine in the future, if you have a guest entering at the hotel and going to the official website and enter with the loyalty card number or access he has, and you can offer to him a personalized package, which includes, let's say, wine upon arrival, or the preferred wine upon arrival. So loyalty scheme for luxury hotels must, let's say, go to the personalization of the client, not only offering discounts. This is why I feel that they need not only run a loyalty And of course, luxury hotels, as I said, they need, but also small and mid-sized hotels need to start running a loyalty scheme for their hotels.
I think maybe, I don't know if you agree with me, Theodoros. I think the mid-size or small size, they actually don't know how to do it. Like they are like, what can I offer? I mean, I'm so small, and I hear this. So, do you have any ideas or tips, or what do you think about that? Do you think as you're saying, it is possible to do it? Yeah.
They can, as I told you, it's small things they can offer. They could offer, let's say, free upgrade in another type of room, or wine upon arrival, early check-in, late check-out. So there are things they can offer specifically, and they can run different levels through the booking engine as well. I do have hotels for loyalty clients that specifically for mobile users and business travel, they offer free taxi transfer from the hotel to the airport. Or so there are things that can be done very easily with the knowledge they will gain through the support team of the booking engine.
Great tips, Theodoros. And as you were speaking, I was actually remember one episode that I watched from your show, Calvin. Actually, one day I was listening to you guys on the 360 Hospitality show, and you were talking about, because loyalty programs and all that, it kind of reminds me of having a pattern, like the thing that I think guests get frustrated sometimes. It's again about expectations, and like if you have a loyalty program that it doesn't really add value, then it's not gonna be so successful. And in the show, I think Calvin, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you were once talking about some brands that were changing the experience that they were providing to guests, and have one specifically that I don't remember which one, because you read the news there. There was like charging now for some service, like $5, $10, or whatever it was, for some service that was before was included, and now it's not included, and now you have to pay for it. And then they were like, what? So I think loyalty programs have to, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but have to be with aligning expectations and the standard of the service too.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, I remember that show, and we talked about actually the loyalty program. It was some of the hotels, you couldn't use it at some of the hotels, the upgrades, and that was, and we were talking about how when you create an expectation like that, it can hurt your brand when that expectation isn't met. And then there were another, I think I can't remember what brand as well, when they were charging this extra fee, and they didn't know it. It just showed up on their bill, and they were like, what is this? And it was supposed to be for some kind of sustainability, something. So I remember that was a great show. But yes, you're absolutely correct with loyalty. But to be honest, loyalty programs hasn't changed a whole lot in a long time. So they've been pretty stagnant. So, and I'm not trying, and I know some brands are looking at recreating more ways where people can use points in different ways and things of that nature. But I do think, some brands, well, EV, we're looking at one now, of course, with our brand as well, but we really want to create something for guests that they can really use and they find value in it outside of just the hotel stay. There's other ways that you can create loyalty as well. I mean, so we're all about partnerships, and partnerships can be great for a brand. Long as they match your core values and your brand perception, you could do some great things with partnerships and take your loyalty program to the next level.
And Calvin, you are so correct about that, because to your point, I mean, loyalty programs, they have not changed a lot, but I think that now more than ever, hotels are realizing that they have to offer something else beyond the usual decrease your rate by using this amount of points. People want, again, the key today, the key word today is experience. People want to be able maybe to use those points to book, a tour with their family, things that really matter, to them, things that are going to entice them to book. And this is the reason why we should even, to begin with, join this loyalty program, because it's kind of overwhelming, and we have to think about, you know, every single company, not only in our industry, they have some sort of loyalty program. So when somebody comes and approach me, you know, from the store, it's like, oh, do you want to join this loyalty program? It's like, no, thank you very much. And it might be the greatest thing that I probably, you know, might join, but because it's being offered pretty much everywhere nowadays, it's kind of overwhelming. So for that reason, I'm like, I decline it. So we have to make it easier to understand that it doesn't have those crazy hidden fees that it's gonna be, you know, for this, for that, or even you know, tied to, you know, to a contract, something like that. Because there's a lot of loyalty programs out there that they bound you, you know, to be part of, you know, you have to be with us for a certain amount, you know, of time, because people don't want to be bound anymore.
I agree.
There's also the case of the independent hotels that can't afford to be a part of these expensive loyalty programs. And so for them, well, the conversation we've had for years is, it's hard to compete with, you know, the Marriott Bonvoys when you're in their booking engine and they've got a better rate, right? And they can do that because it's fenced and it's not putting them in breach of an agreement with an OTA. But the small independent guy is struggling because he can't offer a better rate. Well, we have just a really quick and easy solution where if we capture an email address within a message, it could again be an inline. It doesn't have to be a pop-up, as I said. We can then refresh the booking engine and introduce a better rate and track it with promo code. And it's a very seamless, quick and easy solution, but it does give those independents, you know, a level playing field when it comes to the large loyalty programs where rates are reduced and they're not allowed to do the same thing.
Yeah, great point. And Theodoros, going back to, before we go to the next question, we were talking here, if you do it right, I think that's the point. If you do the loyalty program right, by right, I mean, that makes sense. It can be very profitable. I mean, I think maybe what I hear, especially from mid-size and small-size hotels, is that they considering like they're losing money in a way, you know, but they don't see that loyalty programs, they at least in my opinion, they work for retention, and retention is so much cheaper than to acquiring a new guest, right?
Actually, yes. Actually, yes. This is the key, because you don't need to advertise. If you have a satisfied client, first of all, he can review in social media. He can send. So he might send a nice review in TripAdvisor or in social media like Facebook or Instagram. So actually, you gain from having a loyal client in your hotel. And it's cheaper, of course. And I have seen from hotels I operate, especially the chain hotels, that a loyal client is more keen to spend more money at the hotel. If they have restaurants, if they have bars, he's more keen on spending more. So you earn more and you get your revenue more through a loyal client.
Yeah, exactly. It's not only that it's cheaper to retain, but it's a spot on. They actually spend more. And I remember, Craig, in your when I interviewed a long time ago, it was an episode that actually was like this: was guest experience that drives revenue, and that's the thing that we all know. I think the majority of the hotels know, but they still don't take the full advantage of doing that. I think we're still missing something there.
And I think Calvin, I was just going to comment. So you talked about partnerships, and obviously it's important for especially an independent luxury resort to try and scale, right? So we've partnered with preferred hotels and resorts to kind of, you know, help those luxury resorts, help them, you know, scale with the help of this network.
Yes.
But that's important, right? Evaluate those opportunities and see if they make sense for your property. It's important, though, you know, in the luxury segment, we have to keep a standard, right? That's why I love Preferred Hotels and Resorts program, because obviously they have bars that must be met. But if they do so, right, there's an opportunity for you to take advantage of that scale. Really cool partnership.
Yeah, that's what, and I love that, Craig. You made a great point. It has to make sense for your hotel. It has to match your brand, your core values, what you stand for as a brand. All of that is critical when partnering with someone, because if they're not at the same level or meets the expectations, trust me, that partnership, if one of your guests goes to that partner property or whatever it is and that expectation isn't met, it is going to be a negative influence on you because you are part of that experience as well. So great point. Great point.
I just wanted to add, if you are
sure, go, Carrie.
Yeah, if you are that brand that has the loyalty program in place, just to extend what we've been talking about around relevant content, again, if someone is logged into your website, now you know I'm Carrie L, you can serve up a whole new level of personalized content. So you would know, for example, how frequently I stay with you perhaps, or my point status if you have a status in your program, or the fact that I have children, or the fact that I like the spa. So those are all opportunities, again, to take personalization to a whole new level, because now we're not just looking at behavior on the website. We're not just looking at IP address. You actually know some things about me. And I think that's an important point to make, is that's a possibility. And again, I would love that if I were loyal to your brand, that you take that communication with me to a whole other level.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you feel like you're being seen when they offer you something that makes sense to you, like, oh, they know me, and you feel like, even though I'm not that special, but anyway, you do feel it,
right?
Which airlines are doing an amazing job. Like, airlines are doing this. It's like, oh, you have this amount of points, this can take you to my homeland, Dominican Republic, with so many points and things like that. So they know where you're going. They have historically, all this information. And I don't know, for some reason, I think even when the weather here in New Jersey, it's colder, they send you those messages even, more frequently, because they want you to travel to a place that is warm.
Mm-hmm.
So, they're very, I'm sure you've seen that, Colin, right? So it's very interesting, what they're doing and how they can customize and personalize this for every single traveler.
Yes, I love it. When it's done right, it's good when it's done right.
Yeah,
very
exactly.
effective. Very effective. Can I ask the panel a question?
Sure, of course. Go ahead.
I'm curious. Do you all use industry influencers as another sales point for you guys? I mean, is it?
It's actually just sorry. It is something that it's actually someone is asking also in the chat. So
yes,
okay.
Wow.
Influencer marketing can boost for a good thing for hospitality business. So you're spot on, Calvin.
Wow, that was weird. Okay.
Before all the guests, feel free to tell your answers. I remember another panel and with Calvin Tiloki, and he was talking about when he used to work in a hotel, and his manager at that back then was like really keen on doing a partnership or influencer marketing with the DJ that have I don't know how many thousands of followers, but like the crowd, like the followers, was totally not their guest profile. And he was trying to convince him that it was not a good idea. And then the guy, no, but have, I don't know, 100K followers. So that's good. And it was horrible. So that's my small contribution for this. You already mentioned that, Calvin and Craig, that you have to be careful with the partnership. And it have to make sense. Otherwise, sometimes small influencers are better. Usually they are, depending on the industry. But go ahead.
I think that was going to be my comment. So it has to align. So obviously, for specific properties in this segment, it makes a ton of sense, right? Making sure that you're telling a consistent story. I kind of want to take another angle, though, Calvin, if it's okay. So the whole goal of that exercise is to humanize your brand, right? You're trying to bring your, the essence, your culture to, through another voice. I challenge some of these luxury properties, though. How can you control that narrative? Right. I had posted on LinkedIn just the other day the whole idea of using social media strategies to kind of promote your hotels. Because often influencers are taking that path, right? They're all social media influencers. Let's call it what it is. And so, but how many of us have really promoted our team members because you're doing two things, right? You're not only showing your guests that, hey, you are a living, breathing organization, right? So telling stories about your team and how great you are. But what's interesting, it hasn't come up today, and I want to take the opportunity, is, how can you benefit from a recruiting standpoint, right? And so if you're telling the story of your team members and obviously their experience at your property, that's going to resonate with other people who might want to join your teams. So anyways, that's one element, I think, of influencer marketing. Calvin, I'm sure that doesn't address it. So I'll let the rest of the panel open it up.
It does. It does. It does.
Cool, man.
It does.
If anyone have any other comment, we are heading to the end. Unfortunately, it's going great. A lot of engagement from the audience. I want to say already thank you before we go. We do have another question here that I missed, and I think we still have a few minutes to go. Maybe Cornelio, you can answer, or anyone else, is how to promote my segment for hotel industry. I think it's a little bit about, you can talk about a little bit of distribution here too. I don't know if anyone have any comments to help. Destination X is asking. Hello? Is anyone can add any information for this about to promote MICE?
Yeah, I think when you consider the MICE segment, obviously you're looking at events and weddings and social gatherings, and we've touched on some of those themes, just keeping things simple but obviously very relevant and informative. Right? If I know that someone is visiting me from a specific channel, right? So for example, Cvent, right? I know that I need that material to be highly relevant. So we talked about this. I did an educational session earlier, very early in the pandemic, but we talked about the idea of streamlining that process and making sure your distribution lists are going to the right sales managers, and making sure that you're responding to RFPs. While I don't know if that's necessarily like a strategy or will help you promote, but it will certainly help you be a lot more successful in that strategy and whatever you decide to prioritize.
Thank you so much, Craig, for answering here the question. We are on the spot here sometimes.
Okay.
We do have another. Now it's the last question. I'm pretty sure, and I will go to now. I'm going to go to you, Cornelio. Is the ways to drive more direct business? Can you give shortly, briefly, some inspiration for the hoteliers out there?
Sure. I mean, I think it goes back, to the basics, and what we were, been talking about right here is experience, and what sets you apart, from everybody else. It's what I think that it's gonna work best. No longer, the usual things that we see, out there throughout the years. It's working. People are looking for more enticing and happy, things. But I also believe that it's so important to to measure how effective those strategies are, how many PPCs are we getting on the different platforms, and conversion versus how many regrets or denials are we getting from our hotel website. So understand how to measure that business, and go back to it. What's really going to tell you how successful or not whatever your strategy is that you are implementing. But again, it goes back to the basics. What sets us apart from everybody else, and how that's going to tie with my experience, and how is that going to bring value to my life. It's not only a simple stay. The way personally, when I travel with my family, I don't see it just as a hotel stay. I see it as an experience, as a memory. How great this is going to be, how excited is everybody with this trip. So yeah, I think that that's one of the many ways to to measure the effectiveness of strategy.
Thank you, Cornelius. And I'm gonna go around the last round, so we're gonna go with the same question. I think it's a good question. It's quite broad, so everybody can add something value. So Carrie, if you have any final thoughts about to improve direct bookings and and revenue or profitability?
I would just say, don't be afraid to think of things differently. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, it's like we have to rethink a lot, and if you haven't tried things that we've all been talking about here today, experiential selling, providing, anticipating more of the information your travelers are requiring in order to make a booking decision with you. If you're not currently doing that, explore it. There are a lot of great companies on this panel today that can help. And I think that it's maybe thinking outside of the box. There are, perhaps fewer bookings to go around. We've got a lot of lost revenue to make up for. It's time to rethink things. If you've been hesitant before, dive in, test, get data, rather than just going on gut. Let's go try some things and look at the numbers. That's probably what I'll leave you with.
Great. Thank you so much, Carrie. And Daniel, your final thoughts about this topic?
Yeah, well, I think the pandemic placed direct sales in the best possible position. I think that travelers had to face really uncertain moments, and on those moments, they decided to go to the original source. They decided to go directly to the hotel. They wanted no intermediaries. They didn't want anyone else to tell them what was going on, and that has to make hoteliers feel that they have the power. They're in the best position they could be right now to really boost the direct sales, because the guest wants to go with them. So it's all about communication. You need to let them know everything you do. For example, sustainability is a trend now. If you're doing good things related to sustainability in your hotel, let them know. They're willing to pay for it, but let them know. You got to let them know that you're the unique channel that can actually offer a personalized one-to-one experience. Once they get that clear, I think your sales is going to go up.
Thank you so much, Daniel. We'll go to Theodoros. Same question. Final thoughts about direct bookings?
Just one phrase. E-sales, e-marketing, digital marketing is not a sprint. It's actually a marathon. So whoever thinks that it's an easy thing, kind of with technology, it becomes easy, but still it needs time. So when we are talking about experimenting things, making new things happen in our sales or marketing strategy, it means that you might not succeed for the first time, but you still need to continue on doing things that will help the client understand which is your brand.com and what actually you want to offer and the experience you want to offer.
Paula, may I add something?
Yes. Yeah, come, of course.
Because we're talking about change and potential fear of change and everything else, we actually have it's fully complementary, a benchmark platform for the hotel industry. It's called Bench Direct. It's free forever, so there's no cost ever, but it will help hoteliers identify opportunities for improvement. They can benchmark their own data versus their destination comp set, other lookalike hotels. So again, if you are fearful about making the wrong decisions, this can help guide you because you'll be able to see again what's happening around you and how your own metrics fit in. So you'll see very clearly where you can make some improvements. And again, no cost.
And we are lucky being connected also. This is the thing I told in the beginning, that technology is about integration. So we are connected with the hotels network, and I'm proud to see those, let's say, data from our side as well.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's great. And Calvin, your last final consideration seems so dramatic, but anyway, I couldn't think about any other way to say it about this topic.
I think everyone said just some great points. Particularly, I love the whole thing about getting outside of the box, being creative, trying some stuff that's new, making smart decisions around that. I think that's going to be critical because, and we said this earlier today when we started, Paula, about not only just looking at what your immediate competition is doing. Sometimes you can get inspiration and innovative ideas from companies outside of your industry. Sometimes you can look at some things that you can integrate into your brand and really set yourself apart. So always think that. And then my other point is just to I would just say, make sure your audio, what you tell your customers, matches your video, what they see when they get to your hotel. You know, because you want to be consistent in that, because people, whatever you put out there, you create an expectation. So what you want to do is make sure, like Craig said, make sure that checklist, you go through that. So when your guest walks through your doors, that's exactly what they see and experience. Because at the end of the day, it is about experience and your people. So you want to make sure those things are consistent.
Thank you so much, Calvin. Yeah, you're responsible for the expectations you create. And last but not least, Craig, your final thoughts about this topic?
I think, Calvin, you nailed it on the head. I firmly believe that there's a silver lining in everything we've experienced over the last couple of years. One of those is the transformation of our industry. There's tons of opportunities. I think everyone here has touched on some of those. But I think just looking, looking at things from a fresh perspective, I'd encourage all of us just to, think outside the box and start adopting things that really really help towards that change. Yep.
Thank you so much, Craig. I want to thank everybody who was watching us now. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for the sponsors as well, for the support. Don't miss the last forum of Travel Tech US and Canada at 3 p.m. EST. Thank you so much for all the guests here with me today. It was a pleasure and an honor to talk to you. And don't forget also to visit traveltech.space to know more about this fantastic event and the upcoming ones. So again, from my side, thank you, everybody, and stay tuned for more from Travel Tech. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Pleasure meeting everybody.
Nice to meet you. See you guys.
Hopefully we meet in person
Likewise.
next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah, that would be great.
Congratulations, Paula.
Congrats,
Great
Paula.
job.
Thank you for being
Great
a great
job.
moderator.
You make my work that easy. It's on you. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.